Hi everyone. So in this video I'll discuss about fight or flight concept. It's a very important concept of trading psychology, and every trader, be it a experienced trader or a new trader, should be aware of this concept, because this concept, if learned properly and implemented, will help you to take your trading to the next level. Now I was just having a weekend chat with few of the retail traders. Everyone was saying, there were some writers, option writers, and they were taken for a toss with the rise bank nifty saw, and there were some option buyers who were who bought the options, but they were not able to capture the whole move. Now, so what is, both of these people are having the same issues. They are not able to control their emotions, and they are suffering from fight and flight phenomenon. So what exactly is this? So fear. Now, what is a fear and what causes fear? Fear, there are many trading emotions, but fear is the predominant one. Like, I have been running a poll on my Twitter. You guys can go ahead and participate also. I already got like some 990 votes. If we have a larger sample size, the better will be the result. But as of now, 45% traders have told, like, which the question which I asked was, which emotion is toughest for you to control when trading, and 45% as of now has told or has voted for fear. Now, what causes the fear? So fear is a normal human reaction, a built-in survival mechanism that involves our mind. Fear serves as a protective purpose, signaling our body to danger and preparing us to deal with it. In trading, we have like four different kinds of fear. But apart from trading, when something comes as a surprise, when we are not expecting something, the body has built-in mechanism to chase that fear. Now, this all started, it's a genetical thing. It has been there from centuries. The way the day human civilization was born, when the people were living only in jungle, they have this mechanism. Like, if they see a tiger, they will obviously, the body will react in such a manner to protect you from the invader. So even babies, I mean, a newborn baby will also have a fear, and he or she will respond to a fear if he is thrown at her. Now, why do we fear? A fear reaction happens when we sense danger, or when we are confronted with something new or unknown that might be potentially dangerous. And trading is a probability game. Every trade, you will have some outcome which is not unknown to you, and that is why every trade you have fear in your mind, in your body. And whether you are a new trader, you are an experienced trader, fear will always be there. Even I also have fear when I take my position, but it's how you deal with that fear will make you or will define you as a good trader. What when we when do we fear something? Have you been ever startled by the sound of balloon popping and felt your heartbeat faster? I mean, you can just think about these things. As soon as your brain gets enough data to realize there is no danger, your fear reaction is over. But if your brain does not receive that all clear signal, fear can last longer and can be more intense. Now, there are four kind of trading fears. Like fear of being wrong. As soon as you enter a trade, your ego will always say, no one wants to trade to lose money. So, you will always have that fear, because trading is probability. The outcome can be either profit, loss, or you exit at no profit, no loss. But you will always be under the fear, if I go wrong, what I will do. Second fear is fear of losing money. What if I lose a big chunk of my capital? This is especially applicable to the people who generally trade in FNO, where leverage is involved. There is a probability, if the trade goes wrong, you can lose your whole trading account also. Fearing of missing out, the way markets are moving, if you miss out of that move, sometimes you just jump in between without any risk or sound management, risk and reward management. You just jump in because you are missing the trade. And fear of leaving money on the table. This is another major problem with most of the traders. Like, you have achieved your profit target, but you still think, no, more will come, more will come, and then you fear that I might lose some money on the table, and you hold on to your position. The first step in learning how to deal with fear that a trader may routinely face is to develop an awareness of its early signs and symptoms. So it's always said, precaution is better than cure. So the first sign is, you should be aware, yes, I'm getting a fear. What are the symptoms I'm getting, and then what course of action I'll take. So what is that fight or flight concept? The fear reaction is known as fight or flight response because it is exactly what body is preparing to do. To fight off the danger, or to run like crazy to get away. Now in trading, how it will come into picture? Either you have taken a very big position size and it hits your stop loss, because the loss is so big, You try to fight the market, you hope the trade will come in my favor, and 10 out of 2 trade will come in your favor, but that sets a very wrong precedent. And or you can just just like a crazy, as soon as there is some news, this basically happens, the flight, generally when there are some some news which markets are not expecting, like a surgical strike or an RBI raising a rate, you don't know what exactly you should react, because the information is so much. So you just get out of the market, and when you get out, and then you see, if I would have stayed, I would either protected my losses or I would have made more money. So, what is the fight or flight response? In 1930, Walter Bradford Cannon identified fight or flight response that occurs in a reaction to perceived harmful events. It is an actual physical response triggered by a change in brain chemicals that drive us to act without any thought. Very important point. It's a change in brain chemicals that drive us to act without any thought. It's our instinct and happens automatically. Now, this is the most important line. As a trader, the instinct will always say never lose money. So, you will always have hope, you will never cut a losing trade. And the instinct will always say whatever is on the table, just take it off. So, even a small profit you see, you will take it off. This is what we need to control. We need to be aware of. This first thing is, there are certain brain chemicals. What are these brain chemicals? I'll explain you. But more importantly, how we react to the instinct, how we can choose to either ignore our instinct or take it in our stride, is what we need to prepare our brain to do. Trader must constantly battle the fight or flight response in their trading. This usually manifests itself by causing us to freeze and do nothing, or by selling or buying quickly. This is what most of the, what we call as brain fade moment. Most of the option traders would have seen it. The prices, you are having a very profitable position, the next day the market opens little bit down, time value gets eroded, you get fade. Oh, I was making 100%, now I'm losing 50%. You don't know how to react because you have not prepared yourself for such an event. And that is where is what this particular thing is what professionals exploit from retail traders. They make them to freeze, and when you're not able to react, by the time you get to your senses, the prices are way off from either the losses are so big or the profits have just diminished. Now, what causes this response? So again, like I have discussed about emotions in trading video, you can go for that. So there is basically a panic button in our brain that is called as amygdala hormone in our body are released when a sudden stress is present. Stress is what? Either you're making, the trade, as soon as you entered, it went into loss. So the panic button will trigger and it will release certain hormones within our mind and body, which will set a chain reaction. What are these chain reactions? So this is what you need to be aware of. The hormone released in your body during the response causes increased heart rate. So whenever you see an increase in your heart rate, basically you breathe faster. Your blood is directed away from your digestive organ to muscle limbs for extra energy. So you will see sweating on your palm. You will, you increase your heart rate, you increase your breathing rate increases. Why we sweat in our hand? The reason for that is basically, it's not related to trading. Like when the people used to live in jungle, if an invader is attacking them, so if your body is sweaty, he will not be able to capture you. And this is where, and your mind doesn't know whether, it's a trading loss or if someone is attacking you. So these are natural things which will happen to your mind. And this is what we need to be aware of. Like if I'm seeing an increase in my heart rate, if my breathing is increasing, if I'm sweating all over my body, if I'm not feeling hungry, it means there is a panic in my body. Now what will happen? These hormones, once released, what will happen? The pupil will dilate, your vision will be only on that particular trade which you're looking at. You will have butterflies in your stomach, your mouth will feel dry, you will, and uncomfortable when sitting in front of the computer screen, and often experience to take a strong call to take an impulsive action. Very, very important point. You are uncomfortable sitting in front of the screen and you just want to get out of that discomfort. So there is a strong call within you. Okay, just, exit that loss or book your profit immediately. Now, what happens to a trader during FFR? Traders are often unable to assess the market and evaluate the potential options. So you see the prices are moving so fast, you are not able to assess what shall I exactly do. Blood is shunted from the decision making areas of the brain to the emotional centers, as emotional reactions can be made with lightning speed and we need to act quickly. So basically this is very important. Your blood, which is in your brain, it doesn't go to the hormones or the enzymes which are doing decision making. It goes from the emotional centers, and any emotional decisions you generally tend to repent, whether in life or in trading, after the event is over. You are unable to think clearly, assess the to other choices, and other action vanishes once a trader enters this mode, and all this occur within moment. It is so elegant. So basically what it says is modern life continues to advance at a very fast pace, but our biology, our genetics are just changing at a very slow speed. So basically this genetic change will take a lot of time to happen, and this disparity get amplified in trading. So you are understanding what is happening. You are not able to take decisions. You become emotional towards your trade. You don't think clearly, and this happens in within a matter of milliseconds. And you just press the button. Okay, I want to exit ASAP, and that is where you see the stocks which are falling at Reliance Cap. When we say that fund selling is coming, it's not like that. It's all emotional reaction. People are not able to think clearly, and people who cut that bottom, they are up 100%. Reliance Capital is 100 from the bottom. DHFL is up more than 50% from the bottom. So that's the difference. Either you think clearly or you don't think clearly. Now basically, now many traders ask me, like, when I'm in this situation, I generally tend to forget my trading plan, and the reason for that is, under the stress, brains and muscles have huge appetite for glucose, and that is provided by cortisol, rapidly make glucose available to the brain as well as the large muscle group. It also triggers the hippocampus, a brain region that plays a very crucial role in consolidating long-term memory. And each time we have a trading loss, the brain records that event. So if you have observed, many times you are always scared that I might lose more money because I have lost money in that previous trade. That is because of this particular hormone, which is hippocampus. It is a long-term memory. It will sustain long-term things, mostly the bad things. And each recording solidifies the threat in our memory and creates even faster signaling of the stress response in future. This is important reason why the fear response can stay with a trader even after years. So this is because of the hippocampus. And super communication highways is built within the brain that is difficult to dismantle. And this is the reason. So you are not acting sanely, you are acting emotionally. And you have long-term recording of the bad events which has happened to you. And this is the reason the cortisol is flooding your system, causes our brain to ignore existing memories and focus only on the threat. This is why it is so easy to forget our trading plan when under stress. So you are under stress because either your position size is large or the market is behaving very in a very rapid manner. So the existing memories, the focus is only on the threat. I need to protect my capital, and in that process you forget your trading plan. You don't think sanely, and you just end up taking an impulsive decision which you repent later. And this is the major reason why it is fruitless to try to suppress your feelings and thoughts about fear. We have no direct access over amygdala, adrenaline gland, hippocampus, let alone neurochemicals and hormone like cortisol. We don't have access to all these things, and this is the reason why we forget our trading plan. We don't have access to these things, but what we can do is, the solutions are here. So this is basically how it happens. Fear comes, it releases hormones, this blood is getting flooded, and you have a big trading loss. So after that stress is over, then your heart rate returns to normal, your breathing is normal, you're feeling more relaxed, so everything is back to normal. So what a trader can do, be alert when you see these symptoms. Like, you can ask yourself, how do you feel? What mind is telling you emotionally, how do you feel? If you are self-aware enough to know that fight or flight response is kicking in, we can deal with it much better. That is why it's always said precaution is better than cure. So be self-aware enough to know that flight or flight response is kicking in. Do not over leverage. Objectivity becomes impaired when we start watching every tick and are focused on potential for disaster and euphoria. And these kind of events are mostly triggered during election results, surgical strike, events which we are not perceiving, and that is where maximum traders lose money. And coping with this requires experience and molding your mindset to what is best for trading. So basically what I recommend is a lot of mindfulness exercises, which I cover in my psychology course. But having said that, you guys can also explore on that part. You can see if fear of flight phenomenon is kicking in. So basically, once you see these kind of emotions, just go ahead and stop trading at that point of time. Reduce your position size to a level that you can think in a sane manner. So wishing you guys all the best. Explore more on this concept and try to improve your trading and take it to the next level. Thank you.